Hey everybody, I am coming making this video message, and the message is different. This is not a message that you all would expect, but I want to target married men in this message. And married men, I just want you to hear my heart on this matter, because I come to you all in love with the highest level of respect I can give, and I come also humbly. Now, for almost a solid 2 years, I've been meaning to release this message, but I wanted to have the right heart and the right spirit before I talked about this topic, because it can be kind of touchy, and I know some of the men that views this, it may make them feel a certain type of way. And not just any men, but specifically the married men. And so on today, I want to talk about, just simply put, men who are ashamed of their wife. Now, I know where some of you all's mind might go. You might go to, well, why would I be ashamed of my wife? That's something stupid. If I picked her and I chose her, why would I be embarrassed? Why would I be ashamed of her? But I want to let you know that this is a very real thing that goes on. And this is why now we are finding out and seeing splattered all over social media sites, and even some cases in the news, with very well-known politicians, ministers, certain actors and rappers or R&B singers. We are seeing these people adulterous affairs get splattered out in the open. And so one thing that I noticed, and that's why I took my time with this, and I really sat on this for a very long time, because I wanted to have the right words before I put this message out in the airwaves. But one thing that I noticed about a lot of men who are in adulterous affairs, if they do not tell the other woman that they are married, they will sometimes be ashamed of the fact that they did get married, and they can no longer have the fun that they had in the beginning. See, with a lot of men, they will feel like they lost something when they married the one woman. And because they don't have all these other available options, and they are not open to dealing with all these other women where they're not supposed to, there's a level of shame there. And this is also why when they cheat with another woman, they don't even tell the woman that they are married. And so if you come across certain women and you question them about why they had the affair with that man, they will come out and say, well, I didn't even know that he was married. I saw him every day. I talked to him every day. He came around me. He did this. He did that. And they find out later down the line when a lot of stuff hits the fan. And so another reason why men who are married, those that are ashamed of their wife, they will hide the fact that they are married, because they are trying to protect or keep doors open with other women that they dealt with before they got married. Case in point, on social media, there are many married men out here, and I've seen it numerous times, where they will be married, but they will never post pictures with their wife, because if they post a picture with their wife, a lot of women behind the scenes may try to question them or come at them about their wife if that man is sleeping with them or dealing with them. And so it protects them and keeps them safe when they make no mention of being married. Another reason why some men are ashamed of their wife is because they question if they made the right decision in marrying their wife. And this is also why some men, they don't take claim to their wife. They hide their marriage. They never post about the wife on social media. They don't talk about their wife openly, and they just don't show pure and genuine happiness, contentment, and joy. And so I put all of that out there to say this, because again, this doesn't apply to every man, but there are some married men out here who are married. And this is something that the Holy Spirit allowed me to see over several years ago, but it started being dropped in my spirit again more recently. But as early as maybe 2 years ago, why a lot of men are embarrassed and ashamed. And when these scandals hit the fan, they're hitting the fan because a lot of men, they want to live a double life, because what they expect their wife to be or what they expect their wife to do pertaining to them, she's not doing it, but they can get it from outside women. And that is the hunger that they have to deal with other women. And this is why a lot of married men chase other women. On today, men, I'm just here to tell you this. Again, hear my heart. You don't have to be in full agreement with what I'm saying, but what I want to let you all know is to not be ashamed of your wife. Because one thing about life that you're going to find out is that life is like a hamster wheel. And so what happens when you see a little hamster on a wheel? You see it repeatedly turning and turning and turning, but it gets to a point where the hamster will stop because it's tired. But after it sits there for a few seconds or maybe a couple of minutes, it starts the wheel again, and it keeps going and going and going. It's in a circle. It's still going around and coming back in the same position and the same circle. So sometimes in life, this is what happens. As they say, the chickens will come home to roost. And that just means the originator of bad deeds and bad, horrible things or immoral, corrupt things that someone did in the past, the chicken will come home to roost, because those things done in the dark and in the past, they will start to come up. They will start to rise to the surface. They will start to be exposed and put on Front Street. And you may not necessarily be, as a married man, if you are ashamed of your wife, you may not necessarily be in a current affair now, but the fact of the matter is there's still shame there, because a lot of you don't simply want to claim your wife. You are not proud to announce that you are married. And I was also able to see in a spiritual sense that some married men, they cover up the fact that they are married because they'll use the lie and the excuse of, well, I don't want anybody in my business. If you start to question some of them just in general, because like I said, I've seen it. You'll question them, or I've seen married men questioned by people, and they'll say, well, why do you not want to tell people you're married? You should be proud of your wife. And they'll say, well, I don't want people in my business. And I get it. You want to be private, and you don't owe anybody in this world your private business. But come on, to say that you're married, why is it a secret? I want to let you all know that the enemy is working overtime in marriages. This message is not going to be received by a lot of you, and that's okay. It could be because I'm a woman talking about it. It could be just because a lot of you all, you just don't believe certain things like this goes on. But as a woman, see, I can be honest and tell you all, there have been married men that have tried to talk to me. And so if I question them and I ask them, hey, listen, aren't you married? Or why don't you go to your wife? Or why aren't you happy with your wife? Why are you trying to talk to me and trying to talk to other women? I'm not gonna mess with married men. That's not my style. That's not my character. Some of them are simply ashamed because they have a fantasy in their mind, and they will look at certain women and feel like they want to attach themselves to that woman to live out what it is they're fantasizing about through their lust. This is a very real thing. And like I said, it took me a solid 2 years to really put this out there, because I know some people, you like messages to make you feel good, to get you excited, to get you pumped up, to get you happy. You want something that you can instantly relate to. But guess what? The truth and things that are going on behind the scenes, or things that you see in the spirit realm, it's not always going to make you feel good. It is not always going to be inviting. It is not always going to be something that makes you happy. It's not going to be something that makes you comfortable. This is one of these things. And now this is why we see even mighty men of God, highly respected men of God, they are falling falling and getting knocked down like dominoes in marital affairs, because a lot of them don't want to tell people that they are married. Even if a woman tries to come at them, they don't want to let them know, listen, I'm flattered you do look good, but I am a married man. And some of them, they feel like they've made the mistake, because what happens in marriage is difficult. And so if you're going through in your marriage, sometimes the enemy may get in your head and tell you you made a mistake marrying her. Even when I was married, and there's countless other married people I know, you will have a season where your marriage is going through, and you will question everything about why you from the beginning, from jump, why you were attracted to that person, or why you accepted their hand in marriage, why you accepted even dealing with them. You will question it, but you've got to know that, number one, Satan hates marriage. He hates unity. He hates when a couple is united together. So what's the quickest way that the enemy can tear up a marriage? Through an affair, through pressing on a man who is the head, by making you feel embarrassed or ashamed of being married, making you cover up your marriage. You don't want to talk about your wife, and you all on social media, you're all on YouTube, you're all on Instagram, you're all on Facebook, you're all on TikTok. You post and talk about everything else, but some of you out here, you don't even talk about your marriage. I'm not saying be personal. I'm not saying put your personal business out here. You don't have to do that. You don't owe the world that, but you need to profess your wife. You need to profess that you love your wife. This is why for a lot of men out here, and if you're guilty, I'm saying this with respect again, the highest level of respect that I can give, and in love and with humility as a sister of yours in Christ. This is why a lot of you all, women will approach you all. They are comfortable approaching you all and inviting you to have an adulterous affair with them, or inviting them to be sexual with them, because a lot of you all, you downplay your marriage, you downplay your queen, you hide your queen, you hide the fact that you are a family man, because you want to take advantage of the opportunity, if it's presented to you, that you can sleep with this outside woman. You can have a little fun with her, you can live that double life, and after you've had your fun, you can go back home to your wife, because you know she's a woman of God for some of you, and you know that she loves you. This is a very real thing, and I know that it's appropriate for me to talk about this, because there have been numerous men in this year alone, as well as last year, that have been uncovered or exposed for having adulterous affairs. Not getting caught up in gossip or he said, she said, or people having conversations outside of marriage. I'm talking about men who are in affairs where they are full-blown being intimate, physically intimate with women, having outside kids with these women, moving in with these women, paying bills for a whole nother woman and posting that woman up, and houses and apartments, and buying that woman gifts. Men of God, this is not the season for you to fall. This is really not the time for you to question if you made the right decision marrying your wife. The thing here is, when you allow lust to lead you, when you allow lust to control you, lust will make a fool out of you. And the very women that a lot of you all are pursuing, and the women that you are after, when the novelty of that relationship wears off, and the excitement and the lust of that hidden relationship wears off, you will more than likely desire to be back with your family or with your wife. But if you've opened up a door and there's been blatant disrespect or abuse towards your wife, and you've put another woman above her, or countless women above that woman, then you only will have yourself to blame when your household is torn up and destroyed, or when your reputation or your influence or the power you've been graced and blessed to have to do what it is you do is taken away, and people no longer respect you. Stop being ashamed of your wife. You need to bless the name of the Lord if he saw fit to even allow you to get married. There is a reason why God touched your heart and spirit And he highlighted a particular woman to you for you to take her hand in marriage. There is a reason why God connected you to the woman he connected you to. If you really know that you are married and you know that God was behind it, and you don't doubt that God was behind it, and you love that woman, but because you have not ironed out and worked out the issues that are within you, you've never addressed lust. You've never addressed if you have an abandonment issue. You've never addressed trauma within you. You've never addressed your low self-esteem. Something else I was able to see is that a lot of men, they battle with low self-esteem. And so them being married to one woman, that's not enough for them. They want countless women attracted to them and complimenting them and up in their face. That makes them feel better about themselves. That makes them feel good. And so this is not a video to embarrass men or down talk them or say anything sideways to them. It is just something that I noticed. It was something that I was able to see, and I've been able to see it for many years, even in certain seasons of my life when married men have tried to come to me. It's something that I noticed, and like I said, it wasn't just with me. I've had friends, I've had other people that I know and love, and married men have tried to approach them as well. But one thing I noticed is a pattern from afar off is that they don't seem to really be excited about their wife in the public. Now, what they do behind closed doors, I don't know. But in public, they don't profess their wives. It seems like it's some embarrassment and this shame there, and they want to keep it hidden. But it's a part of them that also wants to do other things that they don't want to include their wife in. And that's having inappropriate contact and fun with other women. Work it out, guys. Work it out, because having affairs and being caught up in lust, it will destroy you. I can speak on this not because I've done it, but because I've seen it too many times in my bloodline with a few family members, and outside of my bloodline with associates and close friends that I know. When they allowed lust to get in, or when lust became a thing in their marriage, or when they got caught up secretly dealing with another woman, you start to see how ashamed they are to tell women, I'm married. Even if women approach them, or even just talking about the fact that they have a wife. They're ashamed. They don't want to post their wife on Facebook. I'm not saying do it all the time, but you need to let it be known. I have a wife. You need to let people know that, men. Let women know, let people know, I have a wife. I'm a married man. I have children, and I love my wife very much. Stop allowing your situation to be so weak and loose and comfortable and open to the point that a woman has no conviction coming to you, trying to deal with you or even have a conversation with you. Sometimes you will see women out here and they are so comfortable going to a man, starting a conversation with a man, and some of them, they do know that they're married. They'll know that they're married, but they don't care because they see that you really don't care. You never promote or talk about your wife. You don't really seem to be excited or happy. And sometimes it could just be somebody just is looking at you on the wrong day. But when a man is happy with his wife and he's in love, you could tell it shows. It shows. It doesn't mean that they won't have a weak moment, but a lot of times if a woman tries to come at them or say something to them, they check that woman. They let it be known. It's very few men that you will run across out here that will profess their wife, and they are always bragging on their wife and talking about their wife and showcasing their wife. It's very rare that you see this, but this is the time now where Satan is at a very high level and he is attacking marriages. Guys, please, if you don't listen to or really receive anything else, you better be on your wall watching the enemy, because he's definitely ripping apart marriages. He is tearing households up in this season. And for all the rest of you that's viewing this message, you may not even be married, or you may be a woman that's married, but you better understand that the enemy wants division. in families, and mainly marriages. Don't be ashamed, man. Proudly talk about your wife. You be proud of the woman God blessed you with. You just never know what will go on with you. You can sleep with a woman, and when that lust wears off, she could get tired of you and walk away because she's free. But you may have to go back to your wife, and if you left a bad taste in her mouth, she could be done with you. That's the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If anybody has taken offense to anything I spoke about in this video message, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not worried about it. I'm not concerned because I know you will forgive me in the morning.